Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gents. This is DafubFilm&TV, and surprise, 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 I'm here again with my thoughts on another episode of The Television, aka episode 3 of the one and only, because it's supposed to be a limited series, only goes one season, of Marvel's Secret Wars. And I'm kind of it's not bad. It's certainly much better written and put together from a story standpoint than what we've seen for the most part out of Lucasfilm over the last couple of years. I know the Willow show was apparently a train wreck, didn't bother watching that. And to say that the ups and the downs with the Star Wars on Disney Plus has been rather extreme over the same time period is a massive understatement. The most recent season of The Mandalorian was a mess. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show was probably the worst single made piece of Star Wars content we've probably seen to date in the IP's entire history, and that even takes into account the sequel trilogy movies. At least, like, from a production value standpoint, they were well put together, if not terribly written, and did a huge amount of damage to the IP. I haven't seen the third one. Again, I stopped watching the movies after The Last Jedi. So I think you can imagine what my view is on that movie. But in this case, I'm not really sure who this show is for. It's kind of a suspense thriller type show, or at least is, much of one with no real teeth, as it were, that, Disney Plus can do, because it's Disney Plus and they don't have an, parental control system and all the rest. They got to be rather milk toast on everything. I don't know who it's for. And again, there has been kind of an escalation, as it were, in special effects. Like, you're seeing more scrolls, more people changing shape and appearance, on screen, certainly than you did in the first episode. And there's a bit more in terms of special effects, but not a huge amount. The kind of terror attack from the last episode was something of a damp squib, considering the amount of death and destruction it was supposed to have caused. And so, it's not how is the term to describe it? It's not mature enough and adult enough to be a kind of quote unquote thriller in the traditional sense of the term. We've already had this with the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies, where within the MCU, the Winter Soldier was a Captain America. The Winter Soldier was a kind of a thriller slash movie, at least to a degree, and I still consider it to be the single best MCU movie made. It's fantastic film, that one. But that movie, one of the things that was very fast paced, lots of great action sequences in that movie, and they're completely absent from this show to date. So if they are trying to do again, a Captain America Winter Soldier type thing in streaming show form with these characters whose names I have forgotten off the top of my head, surprise, surprise, Colonel Fury and so on, or is it Major Fury? Either way, they're not doing that. Maybe it's kind of supposed to be intended to be a slow burn. Okay. And maybe the intention is, well, we're going to have, we're not going to do a Netflix, we're going to release one episode per week, which I think is a good idea. And then the last couple episodes are going to be, all wham, bang, lots of action, lots of tension, lots of pizzazz, lots of spectacle, which could still happen. He says, fingers crossed. And then there might be expecting the bulk of the views to actually come from people binging the show after all the episodes have been released, and there's significant positive feedback from the people who have watched it. But outside of that, I don't know what they're doing. This is like Marvel is, the Marvel IP in terms of films is kind of action and spectacle. At least some of the shows we've seen previously have gone the action and spectacle route to one degree or another. And, again, they do a lot of location shooting with this, credit where credit due, and they are doing shooting on sets. The sets look very, very good. So the production values, in my view, are there in that regard. But they're only there. Like, they don't have action sequences of any significance. They don't have, there's no ooh-ah moments, there's no spectacle moments of any kind that the kind of Marvel Cinematic Universe and the kind of Hollywood blockbuster movies are associated with in general. And yes, this is a streaming show instead, but we've already seen, other Marvel shows. And again, I haven't watched Moon Knight, so I can't comment on that one. But the others have had at least some action and spectacle in them, and this one really to date so far hasn't. And frankly, it's not it's not going in one in a strong enough direction in terms of the kind of whole mystery thriller type thing to really take advantage of that or push that or attract an audience who really want to see that, or a more action orientated version like Captain America the Winter Soldier. And so it's kind of it's stuck between two stools. And I don't know who this show is for. I don't know why. Maybe Disney just wanted some filler. But again, you can't be treating your key IPs like this. I mean, the Book of Boba Fett was basically intended to be filler. Let's be honest here. Very badly written filler. And if it weren't for, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and season 3 of The Mandalorian, it would have gone down as the worst piece of Star Wars content we've seen to date. But unfortunately, those shows came out and they were even worse. And so, yeah, again, we're halfway through the one and only season. There's 6 episodes in total. This is the third. It's the shortest, I think. I think it's about 40 minutes long, give or take. So it's a bit shorter than the first 2. But that, again, unlike some of the episodes of The Mandalorian, were very short and felt very truncated and very, from a writing standpoint, shoddily put together in a way that they had to hit a certain time limit and that was it. The episode doesn't feel that way. And again, it's much better written than the Book of Boba Fett or season 3 of The Mandalorian. The dialogue's much better. The list goes on and on. But, it's just, I'm just repeating myself. I don't know who this show is for. It's too milquetoast to be a really effective, more traditional thriller. And it doesn't have the action or the spectacle to try doing a TV show version of, or streaming show version of The Winter Soldier. And we already got that from, what was the name of that other streaming Marvel show they had? The one with The Winter Soldier and the flying dude who's Captain America's friend, whose name I have forgotten, and is now the new Captain America. I can't remember. Again, I haven't watched any of the recent MCU movies yet, and I may not because the reviews of them have been pretty bad, as has the talk about them online. But who is this for? Why has this been made? I don't, again, I'm sure it cost them quite a bit of money because of the cast and everything else to do it, but it's a case of spending quite a bit of money but not spending anywhere near enough. It's not appointment television, which is what you need to get the audience in and keep them in and keep them subscribed to the service. It doesn't have the action or the spectacle that's associated with Marvel content, or Star Wars content for that matter. So, why does this show exist? Anyway, 3 more episodes to go. Maybe it'll become all actiony and Captain America Winter Soldier-y over the next 3 episodes. Maybe there'll be some of the Avengers or other people with super abilities will turn up to, for those who don't know, spoiler warning, the Skrulls have decided to superize themselves as well. So I'm assuming that's going to lead to some action. But again, the production budget, the scale of it, and not just in terms of like big explosions of that. Are they going to have the cinematography to do it really well, the choreography to do it really well? Because again, one of the things that really let down the Obi-Wan Kenobi show was the very poor quality of the cinematography, the shooting / direction, and the actual choreography of the action sequences in that show are very, very poor and hurt that show immensely. Anyway, we got 3 more episodes to go. I'll keep letting you know my opinion on those episodes as they come. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, your predictions in the comments. If there's anything else you want me to have a look at and review for you, let me know in the comments. And if for some strange reason you're not subscribed to this channel already, please do so. And tick the like button, tick the bell to get notifications whenever I put up new content. And I shall see you around. Toodaloo.